Welcome back, guys. So, as you can tell, we got our hands on one of the 2021 Ford Bronco body made by New Bright. This thing came on top of a big old ugly four-wheel drive toy unit with some like app features or something, whatever. Guy had it for sale in the States for $100 US. Which is, to me, that's cheap. They're only, I think they're like $79 in the States to buy them anyway, and the guy had the complete unit. I just wanted the body. So yeah, that worked out great. We got that sent up, just kind of going over it, checking out the wheelbase. The wheelbase seems to be the Unimog 12-inch wheelbase, I believe it is. And the Unimog seems to fit very nice. We test fit it just onto ours. We were going to throw this on the VS410 Ultra that we're building, but the Mog fits so nice and I kind of like the look of it, so we had another one of these in stock. The SCX10-2 UMG10 10-scale electric four-wheel drive kit by Horizon Hobby now. These fellas. They bought Axial and they're doing big things, making lots of changes, making lots of nice kits come out like this truck here. We're kind of hesitant on buying. If you don't have one of these, go out and get one. If you can find one, they are killer kits, killer truck. It's only $400 to buy one in Canada right now, so in the US they gotta be like $279, $289 cheap for the kit. If you don't have one, get one. Leave the tire stock, put it together and run it, and it's just an amazing little truck. So we decided to use this chassis for this build. And with the power of editing, Jesse built that off camera for us. And I gotta get rid of that front bumper. So that's kind of the wheelbase we're going with. Obviously, you know our style by now. We like to run them low and get a paint job lined up on this thing. Give me a second. I'm going to knock this bumper off and we'll get that body sitting on there. And we'll start figuring out our mounts tonight. No time wasted. We were going to build and run this truck as a second truck because they're such a nice little unit. But now with this build, it's getting sacrificed. And then we have a spare body now for our other Unimog. Straight to your feet. No problem. So it's got some stock standoffs on the inside here that it's interfering with. Right now we're pretty much just going to get a test fit in and then we're going to start working on this body. And if we're good and smart, we can use their existing mounts to build a mount system off of it for ourselves. That way it's molded right into the body, not being attached as an afterthought. So look at that, we're done. Done! Yeah, so how's that fitting? Pretty darn good, eh? I could bring them out a little bit. A couple mils each side. I can stretch the wheelbase on the truck to do a little bit more. Sorry, I'll talk to them now, not you. So yeah, we can stretch a wheelbase on the truck just a little bit to kind of fill up that little pinch where it's not exactly fitting, so it's going to be a good fit. We just need to start doing some cutting, trimming on the inside of the body to get that, starting to get that mounted. So far we're hitting just on the back, so we're going to cut the backs of these guys off. If you're being lazy and like I'm doing right now and you're using scissors to cut this, don't get too close to the top of the body when you're cutting down. It will actually split and crack the plastic that the body's been molded with. So, pro tip there, just you can be hacky and use them, but you don't do any finish work and don't get too close to the structure itself. The plastic that they've used on this one seems to be a little bit more rubbery than in other previous models from them. So that's kind of a bonus. And these cutoffs you're going to want to keep, and you're going to want to melt down to make a slurry so you can do body work and stuff with actual material from the vehicle. Tire there? Almost. That's good. It's just the mount pushing her forward, but still.
Yeah, even if you could cut off shave off more of that piece.
Okay, slight wheelbase adjustment, push that guy out to where we want him. Easy cheesy. More bits and pieces to keep there. Okay, so as you can see, we need a slight wheelbase adjustment once we get into that. But anyway, the point is we wanted to just kind of mock it up on there, show you guys kind of what we're dealing with. Truck's obviously not going to sit that low, but you know, we're going to be around about there. I think we're going to run the military tires. They look pretty good on it. So let's talk about getting this guy ready for paint. You want to start by removing these really nicely this white stuff they're holding the body in with. I don't know what they shot that in there with, but it's different glue gun than I use. So yeah, you're going to want to remove every part that is mounted in there with screws and jism, and just pry them out. Don't break anything. Maybe wear gloves and a mask, I don't know. Don't use black lights. There is a guy on YouTube right now that is, or Facebook, sorry, that is pulling the glass for these trucks in clear. Apparently he spent 5 hours doing one of them, so I don't know how much he's charging for them, but I think once he gets it dialed in, they might come onto the market, so that would be pretty cool. We'd like to get our hands on that. This stuff just peels off because it's not glue. Kind of.
It's questionable.
Apply with a sock. If anybody wants this, please claim it in the comments. You can hang this on your door handle or something. It's just glue, okay, you perverts? So it's actually nice to see that this body is fairly lightweight compared to the, like we know, the New Bright Jeep that is super popular. Just use my shirt. Yeah, the New Bright Jeep, it's a super popular rig that's out on the market. And what would another one be? What else have we done with the New Bright? Really, nothing besides the Jeeps, right? Yeah, this is a New Bright Jeep here. This started life as a four-door Jeep that we call that one Jeepute or Jeep Ute or something like that. We chopped it down into a little pickup truck, put the race fuel tank in the back and the rad and stuff. We're going to do a build vlog, I guess, on that one, because we built a lot of these before we decided to start doing our YouTube channel. So this truck did come with lights in it, which is kind of cool. It's going to save us a little bit of baloney. But I'm thinking that these lights are not LED. They're probably your classic incandescents that these guys use. But that might give it a really cool look. So this one's still fresh. Yeah, see, I don't know. No, those are LEDs. They're just really LEDs. They're like low. They're not bright. So we're going to try to do this one in a paint job that will mean it's not... Oh, those ones are... What's your eyes? We're going to try to do this paint job, and it means that where this vehicle does not become a shelf queen, because that happens far too much. Like in the case of Child's Play. I'm scared to drive the damn thing. We've got so many hours into that body. So if you haven't seen the video, check it out. Our C2X build. One of the finest C2X you will find on YouTube. Not my quote. It's in the comments. Check it out. So yeah, we actually scored his body back at the beginning there for $100 American from Ryan. I'll tag him in the video. From a guy in the States, really good guy. A lot of guys were giving him for selling it on AXIAL page on Facebook. Not realizing people like me can't get this body in Canada for at least a year before we're going to see it on the market. If we do, it's such a hot item for them, they're not even stocking it on the online store so we can order it. We have to just wait till they get here. They had a Raptor. That was the other one, the Raptor. Yeah. We had to order the Raptor online, and we waited 2 years before we got our hands on the Raptor because they just don't make it up here. What's the point of sending something to Canada if you're selling them so hot in the US? You know what I mean? Like, they're not gonna, they don't care. And New Bright being a distributor and not a dealer kind of sucks, like, or a dealer not a distributor sucks. Like, they should be able to sell off their website, but they can't, right?
Yeah.
It's at my wife's company, yeah, or company she works for. You can't buy anything from them, but you can go look at their stuff. On the back of the taillight, they've melted down these two little pegs to hold it in. Once we put it back in, we're just going to shoe glue around the middle of the light bezel. But that's a pretty nice little light. It's going to look good with the light in there. It's a red LED with a red lens. That gives it a nice, rich, dark look, which I like. The only thing on the front we are going to upgrade is they got these bad boys as yellow. It's going to get upgraded to your classic white-ish LED. Oh, well, it's actually white. It might be, I don't know, I thought it looked yellow. Maybe that's just the way the housing looks. Ah, it's painted in yellow around the bulb. So maybe they are white. I don't know. We haven't put any power to them yet. Now onto the grill section. That's your tail lights, super simple. Mirrors are 2 screws. Spare tire on the back, there's 2 bolts, easy cheesy. Just in the front here, we got probably some more melted plastic and some more glue to remove, and then those are out. I just use my curved body scissors that are no longer any good for cutting bodies once they get worn out in the jaws. And I use them for all types of fab work around the shop because they're fantastic. You get a wicked fulcrum points, you get a lot of Hearst purrs. A lot of Hearst purrs in that area. And get yourself a knife like this for fabbing bulk work on the bench. You can really lean on the unit and not worry about it rolling around and stabbing you in the wrist. I've had my little X-Acto just get nutter on me a few times. So that takes out the corner marker. That little red guy in the corner, you don't want to miss that, and knocks out the light there. Pretty cool. A couple more pins and little doodads right here. We get a couple more down there. Oh, little clear ones down there too. Yes. Beauty. Housekeeping. Housekeeping. Okay, so now you want to get this window piece out without breaking or scratching it. That's a key thing here. Nobody likes scratches.
Oh, on the outside anyways.
See, I'm kind of rolling the body back to give it a twist. I don't recommend doing that. Yeah. Yeah. That's a good sound. Look at that. Boom, boom, boom. Almost glued in. I mean, south. Okay. Now we have our canvas to start with. The main thing we're after. All us hard body guys are looking for good canvas. So we can already see, if you want to get some zoomage on that, can you see these? I don't know. Right here and right here, you can see there's two little cross marks in, right on the edge of the surface here. The edge of this cowl. That's the backside of these guys on the moldings. So your two option is to drop the whole hood level down that millimeter, half a millimeter, to plane that out, which is your best bet because you're not putting any filler in there, because once you get filler in there and you get this thing twisting and bucking around, it's going to screw up on you. Your other option is to sand this out nicely, get those exposed, get them cleaned really nicely, scrape them back with a knife, take the bits and pieces that you did cut off of the vehicle, melt that with some acetone overnight, let that turn into a paste, and then you can apply that paste into the spot and then resand that out. That will bite best. I find putting a little bit of acetone down on the body and kind of getting it a little bit soft before I put that on. Not a lot, like a Q-tip, but just wipe it. Get that kind of softening up a little bit and then add the paste to it. Works really good for this. We're not going to do that on this model. We're just going to sand them out. It's thin, but it's thick enough. I'm going to reinforce it on the inside. And for our body mounts to go across the frame, these guys here are going to get cut off flat at this level here, and we're going to use the existing the posts to put in a aluminum plate that comes across with two 90-degree bends, and then a slot cut into that plate where we drop it down over top the shock tower and just clamp it in. We've done that tactic on a few other vehicles. Tactic? Approach? I don't know what you want to call that, but and it's worked great. So it's kind of the method we're going to go with on this one. Almost forgot that little red light. I told you don't forget. And then of course, if you're going to go about cutting anything off like we are, these steps, that's getting mowed off right along there. You're going to want to do any of that first. If you're taking the bumpers off, take the bumpers off now. I think for now, with being a new vehicle, we're going to leave the bumpers on and we're going to kind of build it to the new style Bronco, and then we'll start upgrading it and modding it, and then we'll cut the doors and we'll cut the window that they have in the doors and stuff like that. And then we can build up the inside of the door and make it look pretty. So there's a lot we're going to run with it. Sasquatch edition or something they call it, Sasquatch, something like that. Yeti, cheeseburger, I don't know, something. So yeah, we're gonna get that sitting pretty. We're gonna keep the bumpers from now. We'll come back. This body's probably gonna get a few different paint jobs over the time. Over its lifetime, sorry. Swap that chassis out. Okay, so with this, you want to start with this. I always like to hit it with 220. 220 grit's pretty decent. I go 220, 400, 600 paint. Sometimes just 400 primer paint. Depends what we're doing. This guy, we're gonna go 220, 400 primer and paint. So, you can get the sanding foam blocks. The sanding foam blocks work nice, or you can just old school use your feels and your feelings and just get in there, do it. Now you're gonna notice this sandpaper knocks her down pretty quick. You're not gonna want to spend too much time in one area. But what we like to do on these vehicles is the corners and the edges are always too sharp. So we like to smooth those right out, get a nice flow kind of going and everything. If you watch our video on our C2X, we actually reshaped the top edge of the fender and where it lines onto the hood, so it's rounded instead of the square flat wall that it comes with the RC four-wheel drive truck. So it's little details like that that people may not notice, but we know it's there. And so yeah, like really, you don't need to strip the paint off the vehicle. There's no body work being done, except for in the front. We're just gonna level that out. You just need to pretty much start knocking it down, smoothing out any of these molding seams in the mold. And then as you sand it, you'll start to notice the high and low spots, and then you'll have to make your decision from there how much paint this thing's going to need. Just rolling through all the lights we have in the studio, I can see divot there, divot there, divot there, another divot here, probably throughout the entire truck. Yeah, I can see them all the way across the front of the hood. So, you know, once we knock it down like this with a nice flat sandpaper, you can start to see the low spots. So I'll show you how that looks. So you could go all out if you can putty all those in, glaze the whole thing, smooth it out, sand it down, sand it down, sand it down. But we want to drive this truck, so remember, we're trying not to do that this time. So quick paint job. Show you how to bang these out, make them look really good for quick. Circular motion when you sand. Never sand back and forth. You can if you sometimes you'll see me sanding back and forth just so I can get a feel and roll an edge, and then I'll come back across that rolled edge and do swirls. If you do the lines, you'll see those in your paint job. You don't see the swirls though. So this hood has a nice toilet bowl edge to the front. We call that the toilet bowl seat, like the FJ. They got the hood with that edge like that. You want to make sure you don't round that edge off, so you're gonna spend some extra attention to make sure you do this plane on this angle, and then flat plane on top. Don't roll that edge too much. You'll start to bring that edge back and get rid of it. Once you basically want to sand this whole area and keep it even color. If you start to see it getting lighter or whatever underneath, where you're starting to remove more of the paint, then you've gone too deep. So flat on top. You do have to do the edge just a little bit, but don't spend too much time there. The grill is a very sensitive area. We're not going to hit the grill with the 220. We're just going to go in there with the 400. The grill is, as far as I'm concerned, perfect. It doesn't need any of these lines taken off. As you can see, there's an edge line right here that runs all the way here and then up the window and over the top and then right to the back. So that line needs to go away because that'll stand out through your paint job like a sore thumb. This is notch style. It's concave? Yes, concave. So you can take your block, give it a roll, find the right angle that it fits at, and then work it. You don't need to push, just let it sit there and rub. Areas like this, there's a small imperfection where it pushes out, if you can see. The mirror sits over top of that and covers it. You don't need to worry about that. Just focus on getting this line out without digging a ditch anywhere. And yes, I am going back and forth right now, but I will come back through in a swirl. It's just the angle I'm working right now and the angle I'm at. I'm trying to just ride high on that ridge to eliminate it. I think for this body we're going to pull a Ford paint code color and go get some Ford paint, something that this vehicle probably comes in, it's available. I've got that mustard yellow one, that's pretty nice, but I can't do yellow, so that's out the window. We've got one yellow truck in the fleet of like 40. Guess where he sits? On the shelf doing yellow truck stuff. We've got a couple 3D printed bodies we've been working on for I don't know how many years. Facebook keeps reminding me that it's past due. Your video from 3 years ago. I'm like, crap! You better hurry up on that damn thing. But yeah, the amount of hours that goes into finishing a 3D printed body this is a godsend. Spray done, go. You know what I mean? I've got well over 500 hours into sanding out my MFAB 4Runner. But we did that body with no filler. And there's a lot of body lines on it that were not right. Like I just like we just bought another, buddy just bought the, what is that one? 3rd gen Toyota?
Yes.
Buddy just bought the 3rd gen Toyota from him and his prints are phenomenal. We bought these bodies 3 years ago and I guess he was just getting rolling or he was busy, but man, the prints were off, they're bad, took a ton of work to get straightened out. But yeah, we'll have that truck done one year. 2014. 2042. 2044. Yeah, another cast line that runs across the back here. Once again, you don't want to round this edge off on the back of the hatch. You want to keep her looking as they intended it to look from the factory. And I guess that's where the injection came in from the schnozzle. That will have to be filled. That we're going to fill with our slurry that we'll make for the pieces of body we removed. So there is a New Bright sticker right there on the door. I need some heat, man. Don't be an idiot and burn your house down. Public safety warning. What do they call those? PSA. There's a New Bright sticker on the door. It is paper and it's going to be a gooey mess. What I've learned before from peeling off stickers off old VHS cassettes. Real way back. Use a little bit of heat from a lighter. These are the worst stickers ever. It gets wet, it falls off. It's made of plastic or paper. But luckily we're just painting things, we're just scraping off. We just wanted to get into talking about removing this bottom step on both sides. We want to get that out of the way, and heck, it's going to make our life a lot easier for sanding without having that step there. You're going to need a razor saw. You can use a Dremel. We only use Dremel for hogging work. We won't use them on a body. There's no place in my shop for a damn Dremel on a body. Now you can see right there, there's a thin little rocker line that's shiny black, and then the matte black step underneath. We're gonna take that off in between. This is so thin you could just do it with a big pair of scissors. But this is a razor saw. You can pick these up at a hobby shop. We got this from our local hobby shop, Eliminator RC in Winnipeg. Hit them up if you need one. And yes, they still have grave diggers in stock for everybody that's looking for them. And perfect pump. There's actually a little bit of this piece that comes up right there. We're just going to cut that with our body scissors that I said don't cut your final body, well, your post with, but there we go. I can shape that little notch out in the bottom right there, no problem. You can even do it with a piece of knife or a blade right now. Pizza knife. Pizza knife. There you go. So that's the rocker. That's cut off the way we want it so it doesn't look goofy. We're not 90 years old yet. Okay, we have running boards on our truck. I guess it doesn't work. Okay, we're old, but anyway, we'll pretend we're not old with our trucks. Okay, I'm going to continue sanding this side so we can get kind of past the prep stuff on this. We don't have all night. Jesse's got a night job. Okay, so this side, there's actually no real, right back here, and nothing on the side. They kept that mold line high in that worst place possible for it, but at least it's easy to take care of. You really don't need a lot of work on this side of the body with the 220. Just this back corner. And then just give her a hammer once over here. And also that way you can see if you've had any really bad spots in there. You're going to want to knock down any one of these corners and edges also with your 220, because those are not going to be up to your par. You can actually spend a lot of time in there getting them all smooth and pretty and stuff, but it's not really necessary. We want to run this damn thing. We don't want to put the 100 hours into it, but we were saying 5 minutes ago, I think we're talking about cutting the doors already and stuff like that. Like, whoa, stop that already. So you can see in the paint dust coming up, you can see the separation. There's a whole row of divots there. There's a high spot. There's a high spot. You could fill it, you could mess around, or you could just sand that smooth. So we're just going to continue to sand that out smooth. This whole area, pretty much wherever you have an intersection, the door seams, the molds have a little bit of rejection to them. Retraction, rejection, retraction, something like that.
Something like that.
So yeah, once again, you got to move in a circular motion, and you want to pay attention. You're not knocking down any details on the body. The details are the most important thing when it comes to scale RC. As we all know, we spend hours and hours and hours putting them in just to make them stand out that little bit, make them pop. It's nice when you get a body like this that only needs a little bit of work to get it to that level. So we try to keep those edges in there. Sorry, edges, details, anything like that. You don't want to just make it into like a smooth potato, right? I've seen guys sand things out and just completely ruin them. Okay, so that's going to bring us to the end of part one of our build on this Bronco truck. We started with the 220. We've pretty much got our knockdown 220. The next step, we're going to go into the 400 and then get it ready for primer and then get into paint. We've discussed all the different things you got to watch out for. You're able to sand out the truck to get rid of all the imperfections. You don't need filler everywhere on the truck. That's a bad idea. This thing's going to twist and flex and shake when it hits the ground like that and stuff, and it's just going to blow crap apart. So we went over the chassis, we went over the body. Put in the comments which colors would be good for the truck, and if you guys think we should do the Sasquatch mod, cut the hole in the door, put some 3-dimension to the door, because it kind of goes in and with a little piece of glass. We could do that, so let us know if you guys want to see that. It'll come up in the future, or if you want to see us do something else with the truck, take the top off, something like that. And let us know colors. We want input on the colors. We'll let you guys decide. We've obviously got one of every other color kicking around. Tossed up between factory paint codes or doing military type or something. Probably just going to do two-tone with the black roof, the black accent. So yeah, part one. Catch us back here, part two. This is a short video, so part two should be out pretty soon. We'll catch you then. Yeah. I stole the camera, Jesse.
Oh my gosh.
You rub it.
The roles have been reversed.
Oh, rub it.
Don't look at me.
Ribbit. Ribbit. Sorry, ladies. Jesse's married. Look at that big old ball and ring. Woo-wee. It's like 16 carats.
Like actual carrots.
That's lunch. That's his lunch.
Yeah.
To be continued.